you guys want some lunch?
Where are we off to today?
We are off to Catalonia.
If you watch lots of sailing channels like this one, you may think that there's an equal split between men and women when it comes to sailing. In reality, there's still more men than women out on the water. The majority of sailors are males over 50. There's no good reason for that though. Sailing is as enjoyable for both men and women. After living, working and travelling on a sailboat for nearly 3 years, I can honestly say that it was the best decision of my life. Come along on a couple of sails in beautiful Greece, and I'll show you why I love to sail. I have to admit that I felt a little intimidated by sailing at first. I had never held a sheet before, so I thought learning how to sail would be really difficult and quite physical. But I took a crash course, and I soon learned that sailing is more about technique than strength, and that you really don't need to be that fit to pull a sheet. All it took to convince me I could do this was a weekend sail and a 2-day dinghy sailing course. Being able to hitch a free ride on the wind is a huge benefit of the sailing life. That feeling when you turn off the noisy engine and all you hear is the sound of the hull gently gliding through the water is magical. The other thing I absolutely love about the boat life is that I get to meet lots of like-minded people, like To Get Lost, the couple sailing on their boat, Hot Chocolate, in this shot. Making friends with other sailors or local people is a lot easier than meeting new people on land. Sailing shorthanded means that nearly everything you do involves teamwork. You and your partner work together to tack, jibe, dock, anchor, lift the dinghy, you name it. Ryan and I do almost everything together, and that strengthens our relationship because it makes us feel like we're a good team.
We've never really done much sailing into the wind on this boat, or on the previous boat because it didn't sail into the wind, but this morning we tacked up the bay that we were in, which was really nice sailing in protected waters, and we've just been experimenting, and we found that with the full main and the staysail the boat can get up to about 30 degrees off the wind. That's apparent wind. So that's pretty, we're really happy with that. We're not going very fast. We're only doing sort of 3.5, 3.7 knots in 16, 17 knots of apparent wind. But yeah, it's just really nice to know that the boat can sail at that kind of angle.
Looking at the sea or the coast from your sailboat on a nice day is super relaxing. If I'm out for long enough, I'll find myself in a sort of meditative state. Other times I get too relaxed. We tried to anchor in Agia Ephemia to meet up with some friends, but the anchorage was already busy. The town quay wall was full of charter boats, and we knew that before sundown, more boats would try and cram into the anchorage, so we left.
We don't fancy a night trying to fender the boat off from people, and it was really swelly, and there's no point. There's a better anchorage just around the corner, so we're just gonna motor around to Sami.
I really enjoy arriving into a new protected anchorage at the end of the day, cooking dinner and relaxing in the cockpit while watching the sun go down.
What's going on here?
I'm mounting a new water filter. The old one, which was a Jabsco one, the housing started leaking. So we got a new one which is just like a standard household one. and it's about a third of the price because it's not a marine one. So I'm just mounting that under the sink at the moment and trying to get it into a position where all of the pipes line up and stuff like that.
Boats need lots of maintenance, and I'm not a practical person at all. In fact, I'm extremely clumsy. At first, I got involved in boat work as much as Ryan, but I wasn't much help and I didn't really enjoy it. So Ryan and I decided to split our responsibilities. I work for a living doing copywriting work so we can cruise and fix school up, while Ryan does most of the boat work. This makes us both happier and prevents me from hurting myself with the angle grinder.
God, it's lovely here. We absolutely love it.
We're going to go try and get replacement spear gun rubber. We were given this by someone in the marina because we had to leave our old new spear gun on Kittiwake, but the rubber's really knackered, so there's a good fishing shop in town, so we're going to go and try and replace this.
We rowed the dinghy to shore and looked around Sami, the local town. Getting to see new places every week is pretty special. Walking around little villages and towns is a great way to get a feel for a place.
I managed to get new spear gun rubbers. I thought you had to buy like this as a length and then cut it and then squeeze these things on somehow, but you can just buy it with these and then they just screw into your little metal thing and then screw into the spear gun. So yeah, these are a lot more healthy.
We went back to school and made a new shade cover for our cockpit. I can't say I enjoy sewing, but I like that there's always something to do on a boat.
Do you think we have enough shade now?
I think we do. We seem to have all of the cockpit covered, which is really nice. Because we only had one shade before and then it would shield one side and then the boat would swing round and then the other side would be in the sun. But really with this cockpit we need both sides in the shade so there's space for both of us to relax. So, yeah, I think we've got it now.
Then it was time to give Barnacle, our dinghy, a quick clean. She was starting to accumulate sand at the bottom of the hull.
So weird, I'll let go. It's so weird, I'll get old. Got a love for another one. Got a love for another one. It's so weird. I was lost in a city dream.
I love raising the sails and the sense of anticipation that comes with it. It marks the start of a sail, be it a short hop along the coast or an epic offshore passage. You never know what the day will bring, which is exciting.
I will never forget the first time when I saw you. I thought I lost my mind. Blue and faded was blown away.
Love the staysail. I can trim it with my hands. Well, unless it's high winds, of course, then it can be a bit more challenging. But even without the self-tacking boom, it tacks on its own. You don't need one, honestly.
Like a summer breeze
It's amazing, I love it.
that I might inhale. Is it possible for us to feel this way forever?
Well, after all that, of course, the wind went to 2 knots.
Anyway, today we headed to the south side of Kefalonia. We have seen 3 anchorages really close to each other. They're basically 3 mini bays, one next to each other, and we want to check them out. And there should be northwesterly wind, but we are probably sheltered from the island on this side, so that's why we can't get much wind. And then once we turn the corner, we'll probably have to tack up all the way to the anchorage.
Southern Kefalonia is a great cruising ground because it's outside of the most travelled charter fleet's routes, so it's never too crowded and you get to meet lots of other cruisers.
Can you guess what's for lunch? We must be boring, but it's just the only thing you can have in 35 degrees and it's so fresh. It's really nice.
While we're out sailing, I feel like time goes by very slowly, but if I stop and think, I realise just how much we've done and seen. I love making so many memories every year and being able to look back at all the places we've visited. I never feel like time has slipped through my fingers.
The wind has picked up nicely. It's 15 knots of true wind, and we've got the full main and the staysail up, so it's kind of on the nose, but at the moment we're going around a reef, so hopefully when we turn, we'll turn through more than 90 degrees. Amazing, like it's really surprising us how high Skua can point with the staysail and main, and it hasn't even got much weather helm, maybe like 3 degrees, which is ideal. And she can point at about 30 degrees, which is exceptional for a boat like this.
The reef we're rounding here is quite a dangerous one. It extends quite far out from the coast and features numerous rocks and shallow areas. Every year a few boats run aground here. When you're sailing, you get a sense of achievement from lots of little things like trimming the sails, tacking efficiently and setting the wind vane to steer. All these small things contribute to give you purpose, and that's why I find them so satisfying. I love setting or trimming the sails alone at night and seeing the results of my efforts as Skua reacts to my changes. Here we had to blow the horn for a boat that was motoring right onto our course. It only really happens about once a week, so it's a lot less stressful than city driving.
They weren't super close, but I looked in the binoculars and there was no one on watch, and they're motoring towards us and we're sailing. So I sounded the horn and then suddenly like someone sprung up and changed course, so they obviously hadn't seen us
They
at all.
didn't. No one was on watch, and I mean, look how close to the coast they are. And it's a coast full of rocks.
And
well
boats.
Done. And boats.
We're just arriving into the anchorage now, and it's nice to be getting some shelter. There was quite a chop being kicked up out there, so we were smashing into it a bit. But now we're getting close to the anchorage, it's calming down a bit. It's still quite windy, but yeah, the sea's a lot nicer. So we should be in about 20 minutes and be anchored, and then time to chill out in the cockpit.
Not a bad spot, huh?
Lovely, yeah.
It's great.
I would go anywhere as long as I'm with you. You see.
Could do with a couple of turtles in Spain.
I think it's pretty stunning on its own.
Waking up in a calm anchorage as the sun rises, surrounded by clear water and lush vegetation, is one of the best perks of the boat life. There's plenty of peace and quiet on the ocean. When I turn my phone off, I can easily forget all about the news, politics and work worries. But if I need the hustle and bustle of a town, we can just anchor in front of a lively place, jump in the dinghy and enjoy a drink or an ice cream on shore. Do I even need to mention the best bit of the boat life? Swimming in amazing water, exploring the coast by dinghy, living in a bikini and snorkeling are some of the things I enjoy the most about this way of life.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Welcome. Right, I'm gonna be the captain, so don't start the engine. Yeah.
Let me set the camera.
Yeah.
Our rickety swim ladder. Let me pull the boat in. Oh, I'm just filming your butt. It's not very wide angle this camera, is it?
Right.
You ready?
Yeah, sorry, I just needed some water on my head. Alright, is this out?
Yeah. Nice.
So it's on neutral. Something like this. And the real problem is this,
Wait.
isn't it?
You need to give it a couple of pumps with the fuel pumper. And then concentrate on giving it like a hard tug rather than like a long pull.
Oh, hard.
Yeah. Oops. Whee! Choking. Excellent job. Should we go see the anchor and I'll stick it underwater? Feeling warm.
It's really hot. This is not sweat, it's water. It's salt water. But yeah, it's really hot. But the water looks amazing.
It's nice and cool, the water as well, refreshing.
Yeah, I can't wait to get in.
Tears keep on falling, the nighttime is out.
Dropping. Wait for it to fall back to the wind.
What wind? I've arranged my gear here. Drop in here. You want to take it? I forgot to tie my hair.
Shoot. Have you got a hair thing to tie it?
Give us your soul.
Oh, it's nice. Thank you.
Hunting alone.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to our channel, and if you like what we do, you can support our production on Patreon. Catch us next Monday to watch us swap our wheel for a tiller.